Heal the world, make this a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying, but if you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. Hello everybody, I'm Cheryl Tally Moss and I want to welcome you to my YouTube channel. In this episode, I'm going to show you some of the damage that we had as a result of having flash floods with high winds last night. And actually, we had a lot of rain for the last 3 days. It really isn't that bad. It was the young tomato plants, pepper plants, that type of thing that snapped. But my trees, thank God, my fruit trees, bushes, and vines held up very well. I'm also going to take you in the greenhouse and show you, a little damage in there, so not bad. And I'm going to show you how to make compost tea. Okay, let's get started. Today, May 17th, and I just want to show you some of the wind damage. And this one plant was leaning all the way over like that. And even though they have these tomato cages, these plants are pretty mature. So I'm standing it right upright again. And then, let me see. I don't know how I can film this. I'm taking these zip ties and I'm going to zip tie it to this PVC pipe that I keep here. And I told you guys in another video before at my greenhouse, I had all these PVC pipes, hoop houses over the garden beds. But I just left them here in case I need them for some emergency. And today is that emergency. So I'm standing this upright. And then I'm going to zip tie two of these zip ties together and somehow support this plant. It's leaning back. You see, it's slowly leaning back over. But I'm going to do it because I can't do it with one hand. And then I'm going to come back and show you what it looks like. See here, that zip tie. Then I put one here and connected them. And that's real upright and straight. And then I'm going to zip tie this branch that escaped the cage, and I'm gonna zip tie it here, and that should give it some support for these tomatoes right here. And I'll go around the other side and do the same thing to those branches. And then this plant that's leaning all the way over there, I'm gonna do the same thing, and I'll be back. Okay, guys, you can see here that I removed all of the lower leaves and I zip tied the tomato plant to this PVC pipe. I removed all yellowing leaves or leaves that were in the way that would stop the sunlight from getting in, because you've got to make sure that you dry up this area. As you can see, I pulled the shade cloth to the side. They weren't on, they were just hanging to the side there. And these leaves and branches that I pulled the other day, I told you guys that I ordered another bucket from Home Depot, and that's where they're going to make compost tea. Now I dropped a little tomato and pull another one off so I can share with you what happens when you get a whole lot of water at one time. The tomatoes will split. I'm looking for one. I just had removed two. That one's going to make it. Sometimes they will split and then scar over. But here's one. Let me make this bigger so you can see. Go in closer. See that split right there? They will scar over if it's a big tomato, and you still can eat it if you just cut around it. But when they're little like this, I just take them off. So when your plant gets a lot of water at one time, you have to be careful about funguses and cracks. So do what you need to do to take care of that. For me, what I needed to do was to get the plants pulled up. Now look right here. Nothing's going to help this. This is snapped off from the wind. So I'll get a pruner. Let me turn it around so you can see better. See, that's all snapped off right there. It's split. Those are not going to make. They're gone. You can take this and root it if you want to. I have enough. I don't need to do that right now. Plus, my window will be closed very soon because it's going to be 90 degrees next week. 91 tomorrow, 92. By June, it's going to be in the hundreds. If the weather patterns remain the same as they have been for the 30 years that I've been on this property. So this will get snipped off and put into the compost. And if I still had my fingernails, I could cut it, but I can't. And so you can see I propped this one up, zip tying it to the PVC pipe and to the tomato cage. And it looks pretty good. And I'm gonna go right over here and pick up some more zip ties. Right here from that patio table, because I still have to do a little work right here. And this is a perfect example of a tomato splitting because of too much water. So we'll throw that away. And I need to get these branches right here that are leaning and get them zip tied to this PVC pipe right here. I'll come back when I have it done. I took 3 branches right here and zip tied them to this cage. And now when I walk down the aisle, on either side, the tomatoes are erect. There's some branches that are broken. I'll wait a day and then we'll remove them. And more yellow leaves. This is all a part of gardening. You can't get upset with Mother Nature. You just have to roll with the punches. When you're walking around your property after it rains, be careful so that you don't, and watch where you're going so you don't step on earthworms. I found this little boy just as I was getting ready to step on it. He's still alive, so it's 2 of them actually. I'm gonna pick it up and put it in a garden bed or container so that it can fertilize my plants with its poop. That's what worm castings are. I want to encourage earthworms. They don't eat living matter in your garden beds. They only eat decaying matter, and then they poop. And the worm castings is one of the best fertilizers that you can get. And I usually buy a 30-pound bag every 6 months or so from Amazon or eBay. But because I'm an organic gardener, I don't use insecticides, so it promotes growth of the earthworms. I don't let natural resources get away. Here's a bucket that I just left out because I was getting ready to plant some radish in them and I needed to drill holes in it. So I said, oh, it's getting ready to rain. It's been raining for 3 days. I'm just going to leave this one and this one out here. And you can see they're full. And this one, I dipped the water out and put in these 2 containers. Anyway, here is the bucket I bought from Home Depot because I was running out of them. I have, I think, 5 buckets. I'm making compost tea, either comfrey tea or weed tea or lawn clippings. And in this one is a lot of tomato leaves I just pruned. And here's some that my kids, my grandkids, picked up for me when they were over here last Sunday on Mother's Day. And you can see they're breaking down already because it got rain in that bucket right there. And here's another one. And I'm just going to put it right here in this container. Nothing goes to waste in my food forest. And here's the top. So right now, all I'm going to do is take, I'm going to get my finger out the way. I'm going to take this good rainwater. And I'm just going to fill it up to where the weeds stop, so that I can continue to put more dead plants or branches in here. As I was making my rounds around the food forest, I did notice several Japanese beetles. So they're going to be out in full effect because we had a very, very mild winter. So those eggs and insects did not die off. So we're going to have a problem with that. But they are, like I said in another video, they are slow. Gnats and Japanese beetles, they don't have a lot of sense. Because you can try to swat it or pick it up, and the stupid insects will just stay there or come right back to you so you can pick them off. I do not buy those catchers that have been scientifically designed to draw the Japanese beetles to them, the traps. Because when you do that, you're gonna trap everybody else's Japanese beetles that are in your neighborhood vicinity. So I don't use those. I just pick them off basically. Okay, so you see my hand down in there real good. And cool. I don't need to put a brick or anything on top of it now until it gets full. I don't know how this got in here. But it doesn't really matter because I'll put on gloves when this is fermented and nasty. And I'll strain this. I'm only going to use what I call the juice. The tea. And if I leave it in a week, I'll pour it directly on the plant that I think needs some nutrition. Let me get my label off where I ordered this from Home Depot. And I already sanitized the bucket when I first got it. I believe it was last Monday. But anyway, yeah, I'll use it straight on if I see a plant is lacking nutrition. And but if I leave it in there 2-3 weeks, I would dilute it. Now I gotta watch my roses real careful because I see they're yellowing at the bottom. And that's an indication that they got too much rain, water, and I'm hoping that they don't do any root rot. But what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna water them until they completely dry out, and that should take care of it. Hey gardeners, I'm out in my special place, and I am relaxing. The weather is beautiful. I've just about cleaned up all of the debris in the food pours that was damaged because of the rain, the flash flooding rain we got in the last 3 days. As you can see right here, I cleaned all up under the tomato bed, and everything is looking good. I pruned some of the branches at the top that broke off, and I re-tightened up the strings. Over here, the blue Hubbard squash. Let's see if I can get my shadow out the way. The blue Hubbard squash is doing wonderful. I will be moving some of these seedlings out, and I'll either do a raised bed behind the greenhouse right in this area here, or I will do in-ground planting after the rainy season. The corn isn't up yet, but that's cool. And we have some more kale coming up here. And look at Pepper Place. Would you look at that? Let me get it in closer. Just look at that. Beautiful, luscious green. I use Neptune's fish emulsion with seaweed. If you want to have flowering fruit, use that fish emulsion with seaweed from Neptune's. I'm telling you, it works. And I am just so excited to see so much sunshine. It was so damp in here this morning and dreary and cloudy, and I was afraid that we might get a little root rot, but tomorrow it's going to be 92 or 91, and so all of these beautiful tomatoes are going to make it because the roots will dry up. And then I have my beans that I'm putting on, and I told you guys a couple of days ago that these plants will start making beans. I could kind of tell even before the actual beans come on. Beans in a basket. Isn't that beautiful? All you have to do is just walk around it and harvest it. I'm so happy. I am very, very happy. Pepper Place, a different angle. I'm in the shadow, on my shadow. But these pepper plants, guys, let me squat down so you can see. They are about 1, 2, 3 feet tall, maybe 2.5 feet, some of them. And they're beginning to put on fruit. I saw some flowers the other day. Might have fell off in the rain, but the fruit will be on here pretty soon. This is just going to be so nice. I'm so happy. I don't want to dwell on all of the negative things I found in the food forest. You can't really. You can't dwell on negativity when you're looking at so much beauty. You just can't. So you have to take the bitter with the sweet. We're going to get some rain. We're going to have some windy days. But for the most part, everything is going to be okay. Yeah. Got those tomatoes up under there. Can you see them? Right there. Just beautiful. I sat out here and ate one. And it was absolutely delicious. This concludes this video. I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to watch it. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and tell your friends about my channel. God loves you and I love you too. Thank you for watching. Bye now.